Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to change the oil in a Ferrari Testarossa.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan. This is my garage, and this channel is all about the supercar ownership experience, buying and selling them, maintaining them, DIY work on them. And today, yes, we are going to do some DIY work on this Ferrari Testarossa. But before that, something that's interesting about this Testarossa, which is it's for sale. Yes, this Testarossa is for sale at an auction right now on my website. So if you go to normalguysupercar.com and check out the auction link, this car is for sale. So the opening bid is $115,000, no reserve. So first bid, this car is technically sold. It's a really, really good car. So I'm gonna be doing another video showing you all the details on this car and showing you exactly why you should probably buy it, because it's absolutely beautiful. It is truly a beautiful car, and believe me, at the 115 price, it's kind of stupid low. That was like the hey, let's get attention price. It's gonna go for more than that. And by the way, if you didn't know, I'm actually selling parts for supercars. Yes, so if you go to normalguysupercar.com/shop, I actually sell parts for these cars. I have exhaust and other things. When you do that, it actually helps support this channel and keep me going, so I appreciate it very much. And with us, as always, is Mo. Hi, Mo. You have been really bad today, yeah. You know what he did? He peed on my bed. You are so bad. You're so lucky that we didn't catch you, otherwise you would have gotten a serious, butt whooping. Yeah, that's right. Oh, and if you didn't know, that is Gabe. This is his first time on the channel, so Gabe is a new participant on the channel,
that's
I guess.
Right.
So this is gonna be his first time really wrenching on a Ferrari. So he's gonna help me out changing the oil on this thing. But don't worry, it is super easy. Yeah, oh, look at this. Look at this giant ass. It's huge! Look at that! Oh, what a beautiful car. I know Testarossas aren't the fastest, but they are just so beautiful. So first thing we gotta do is get the car up in the air. So I'm gonna pull out the quick jacks, throw them under there, and lift it up. Oh, and so the LASIK people don't get pissed. Hey, I'm being a good doobie. I'm wearing my safety glasses, okay? There you go. Ah, yes, and we're gonna be doing this as a proper oil change. We have some Miller Lite. Yes, cheers. Cheers. Miller Lite. All right, here we go. Okay, so the bottom of the Testarossa actually has a lot of drain plugs. This is the one we want. If you notice, it says Olio Motoro or whatever right there. This is the oil for the engine. This and this way over here, those are for the transmission. So don't pull those unless you really feel like topping off your transmission, which you probably don't want to do. And then there's another oil plug which is harder to get to, and that is for the sump itself. We'll show that in a second. And then actually right here in front of the engine there, that's where the oil filter is. It is a big oil filter. So we're gonna first pull this plug, let it start draining. We'll pull this guy right here, and then we'll pull the sump plug. So the drain plug is a 17 millimeter, and it's probably on there pretty tight, so no, that wasn't too bad actually. So we got a big bucket to catch all the oil. Ready, and go. Not bad. Didn't make too much of a mess for once. Alright, while the oil's still draining, we're going to try and get this giant filter off. I have a filter wrench. I don't have one of the actual sockets for this thing, so I'm going to do my best to try and get this thing off, but it is going to be a little bit tricky just because of the position of the dripping oil and everything. Let's see if I can... Come on. Oh, good lord. Jeez. There, now. There we go. Oh, alright. Getting somewhere. Oh, hot. Good. That oil actually looks fairly clean. So this car only has 19,300 and something miles on it. I bet you it's been sitting most of the time with this oil. This oil is just aged out. It's not mileaged out. I mean, it never is on these cars. So it had a major 2 years ago, and I think it had a oil change about a year ago. I bet you it probably had 1,000 miles on it since then. The oil looks really, really clean. It's only good for about a year. Hopefully not make too big a mess. Oh, here it comes. So while we're letting the oil drain, I'm gonna fill up the new filter with oil. So we're gonna preload it using some Pennzoil. It's actually 20W50. And believe it or not, this car takes 15.5 liters. Yeah, so a boatload of oil in this thing. We're gonna preload this thing. We're gonna fill it up most of the way, not quite all the way. And of course, we're gonna lubricate this gasket right here. 20W50. I'm gonna pour in, oop, good angle. There we go. Not quite all the way, but close. There, because otherwise it's just gonna spill out. And then we're gonna take some of this oil and lubricate this gasket right here. There we go. That's so it's not as hard next time to take it off. All right, let's get this new filter on there. And if you notice, I don't have a socket for it, so we're not gonna be able to torque it down to a specific torque reading, but we're gonna go really, really hand tight. So, all right, get that sucker in there. Be really careful not to cross thread these. That should be pretty tight. So we're gonna use a new crush washer on the drain plug. So got my little bag of crush washers, and nope, that one's too big. There it is. So we got a new crush washer on the drain plug. We're gonna get this in there and torque it down. All right, here's the new drain plug, and get that in there without cross threading. And I'm gonna tighten it down to 30 foot-pounds. I think it's somewhere between 25 and 30, so it's probably well within the margin of error. There we go. Okay, so way up there, right there, that is the drain plug on the sump. So you can see we don't have like super great access because the brake cable, the parking brake cable is right in the way, and there's like frame right there and stuff. So we're gonna do our best to get in there. Obviously I can't get the camera to see it when I actually get that thing loose, so yeah, there it is. It's actually a 13 millimeter, although the instructions on some of the things I've read online said it was 22 millimeter. So I'm thinking this is an aftermarket bolt, or an aftermarket drain plug. Oh, that wasn't bad. Man, it's gonna splash all over me. There's no way I'm gonna not get it messy. You know what? Oh shit. That came out way sooner than I thought. Alright, well, a small mess, but not too bad. I thought I had a couple more threads to go. Whoops. Son of a bitch. Pull off the old crush washer. Yeah, this is definitely not the factory drain plug. It's got threads, like thread sealant on it. So considering they did that, I'm assuming I'm gonna put some new thread sealant on it, because that's probably not the right size drain plug, or the threads are just marred up on the actual sump. So we're gonna clean this up a bit before we put it back in. So yeah, we're gonna put a new crush washer and some thread tape or pipe tape or whatever it's called. Thread tape. Yeah, look at that. It's still coming off. Ugh. There we go. All right, this is the problem with old cars. You know, stuff starts to go wrong. You do what you can to prevent leaks. And just put like 2 or 3 passes. It's 1, 2, 3. And new crush washer. Whoop. And I dropped. New crush washer. All set. Got my drain plug, and it's basically done draining. Wow, that really is not like super great fit. You can tell it's an aftermarket and it's not like the right thread completely. Got my torque wrench, and no way. That's totally not the right size threads. So that is, as I expected, not the right size threads. It won't even get to 30 foot-pounds. It can't even get to 25. Like, it barely even tightened. So I don't know how it was not leaking. So we're gonna have to get a new drain plug. That is not the right drain plug for this car. Okay, well, let's pull it out and let's go to the parts store, because that is not gonna work. That would be why it like kind of came out too easy. The joys of old cars. Hooray. This made the oil change a little bit more difficult.
A few moments later.
So I bought a new drain plug, and it's a M16 1.5. Theoretically, that's the size that they claim online that's supposed to be. I'm gonna see how the threads are, and I might just try and re-tap the threads a little bit, maybe clean them up, that might be enough. And if not, I bought an oversized one. We can kind of go a step bigger to an M18, but I'd really rather not have to do that. All right, let's see if this works. Good news is it's pretty much done draining at this point. Ooh, looking up in there, I don't think those threads look very clean. It feels better, like it's gripping a lot better. We'll see if I can actually get it to torque down. Oh yeah, hopefully, come on. What we could do is add a little oil and see if it leaks. It's fairly tight, but I don't want to go any tighter. All right, so we've got the drain plug in. I got it fairly tight, and I couldn't quite get it to 30 foot-pounds without feeling like it's in a strip. So I'm just gonna put in some oil and see if it leaks or not, and then call it good if it is, because theoretically, you just need the crush washer to sit and compress, and once that happens, you're good to go. So I'm just, yeah, man, probably needs to have it like get totally retapped and redone, and probably oversized by a little bit. 20 W50. Glug, glug, glug. Yeah, it's dry. That's good. Under there, checked it, and the plug's bone dry. So we're gonna add it in, and then we'll start it up and check the oil, and hopefully we're all set. Oh shit! Oh, I just made a mess. All right, so I'm screwing up so that you guys can learn the lessons. We're trying to figure out what's going on. So I added about 13 liters out of the 15.5, and the sump overflowed. So the only thing I can think of is that it maybe hasn't pushed into the engine yet, and the engine oil pan probably holds a couple liters, and so we probably need to start the engine. But I'm texting Josh just to be sure, because now I'm like, what the hell's going wrong? So hold on. Okay, and Josh just confirmed that I'm a dumbass. So Josh said basically you add about 8 or so, you start the engine, or just let it sit for like a long time, like literally like an hour. You know, like you can see it actually is slowly draining down, but basically you can start the engine, it'll pull it in. So yeah, I'm a dumbass. And then you do have to run it. Again, this isn't a dry sump, so you do have to run it in order to check the oil, so we'll do that in a second. Son of a bitch. I just made a mess. Oil everywhere. Had a, bleh, bleh. It's gone down quite a bit now. So I'm laughing because Josh sent me a text. He's like, yeah, it turns out they don't mention that you're supposed to do it that way in any of the books or anything. So it's like pretty much, it's like a joke in the Ferrari like mechanic world that they like let someone do that and screw up, and it's like, haha. We're letting it kind of let the oil drain. We're gonna fire it up, check the oil once it gets kind of topped off. What a pain in the butt this has been. All right, my lovely assistant Gabe is going to start it.
Open it here, Dad.
You don't know how to open it?
Yeah, you gotta catch
All right.
this moment on camera.
All right,
Uh-oh.
figure it out. You can do it.
There we go.
Got
that.
There we go. You got oil pressure? Yep.
Let's see here, yep.
You got oil pressure. Cool. All right, well, it's kind of warmed up. I checked it, and it's at the max line, so I think we're good to go. Again, this Ferrari Testarossa is for sale, so go to normalguysupercar.com. Check out the auction section. This opening bid will be $115,000. It's gonna go for more than that, but that's gonna be the opening bid. It is a beautiful, clean car, 19,300 miles, 1987. Very original, hardly anything done to it. Still has the original exhaust. As you can see by the condition of the engine, super clean. Had a major 2 years ago, so it's ready to rock and roll. Brand new tires. Go check out the video where I talk about this car, but more importantly, go check out the website and see about bidding on this car. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. You know we got a ton of car stuff coming your way, so you're gonna want to stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.